Greetings, dear souls. We come, this celestial group of 100, we come to meet with you today to talk on the subject of your many selves, your fractal selves, your who am I indeed. Anthony, do you have a question for us?
Yes, and welcome. I have had an experience of someone looking through my eyes, and I've been told that I have a number of entities in me or fragments of myself returning. Can you comment on this in any way?
Yes, so the human being is multi-dimensional, yes. And as we move into our Homo luminous bodies, as the humans move into the new human, that will be solidly grounded after the solar flash sequence, all returning aspects of self are coming in at this time. So the self behind the eyes is often the master self. So, to be clear, so this channel listened yesterday to a beautiful teacher, Honey Golden, who was talking on this subject. So we will share this teaching also. So we will share, because it is in this one's understanding to do so. We will say that there is a soul, that we have an oversoul. And the soul that every human being has contains all of the lives of that being within it. All the fragments, all the multidimensional aspects which are coexisting at the same time are all carried in the one soul, the oversoul. And the body is indeed purely a vessel to carry that soul. And these vessels change from life to life, hence the term past lives. Of course, if one understands that time does not exist in the higher dimensions, it is true that it is only the dimensions of 2 and 3D that have this time and space limitation, that once we move to the fourth and especially the fifth, there is no longer time. So in the evolving path of humanity, we are looking forward to a time where there will be less and less, and then no time. This allows, and the challenge is for the 3D brain to understand that your many selves, the past lives that many of you have researched and activated in your healing sessions and done very solid work on, to your credit, that these of course are not past. It turns out that they are indeed simultaneous and happening multidimensionally, many on this planet and also on other planets throughout galaxies and universes. So in some of these lives, your soul is actually a sixth or a seventh dimensional being. This is, of course, the parts of you that feel very wise and feel very knowing, and the parts of you that actually, even though your current body is on the ascension journey here on planet Earth, there will be these other aspects of yourself that have possibly already ascended in other timelines, and or their planet was such a high frequency that they always live in this sort of state of, well, way beyond ascension, really. So these fragments, which can be called fractals, these are returning. And as the frequencies get higher and higher on planet Earth, of course, it makes sense that the fractals from the higher frequencies are now able to return. When you felt mired in sort of the present world of the third dimension, it was, of course, harder for these high frequencies to come home, as it were. But now they are coming in, and in this current climate, with the solar flares intensifying to such a large degree, they are coming in a lot. And they usually reintegrate into your being at night, apparently. And so this is why you may wake up in the morning feeling quite different. You may feel exhausted because it takes a lot of energy for the physical body to allow these fractal, especially the high dimensional selves, to come in, for the body to open and expand its frequency sufficiently to allow these higher aspects back in, back home. So you may feel exhausted in the morning, or conversely, it may give you a lot of energy and you may feel fabulous in the morning. But indeed, if there are these periods of unexplained tiredness, this could very well be a sign that a fractal has returned overnight or whenever. So we encourage you to celebrate this unification of your multidimensional self. This is the ultimate healing. This is why the human form has this prediction of being such a grand being of mastery in the future, as powerful as any other being in the galaxy, because it contains many strands of the other galactic races. We know this. This has been consciously seeded in the human. Consciously seeded in the human, so that at a particular point of awakening, all of these seeds and these potentialities may flower. Within this is the fragments of you from other lives, other times, other planets. And this explains this feeling of, yes, oh, I've just arrived. What's this world about? So when you feel that somebody is looking out through your eyes, we would feel it as a new master who has arrived home and who is acquainting himself with life on planet Earth. Does this make sense to you, Anthony?
Yes, very much so. Is this also a period when the DNA strands start to activate?
Oh, yes. As each of these entities come, they, of course, are bringing with them their natural, highly evolved and awakened DNA. And this is very much how the body is turning from carbon to crystalline, is by, as it were, clearing the space of the old to allow the space for the new crystalline energies and these selves of higher frequencies to come in. This is why the most urgent and urging from our from galactic advisors such as us in recent years, really for the last 3 years, has been, please to do the shadow work. Please to do the work. And this shadow work is literally a cleaning of house. It is opening the Bluebeard's cupboards. It is getting out the trauma. It is getting out the trigger points. It is jettisoning baggage that is no longer needed, relationships that are no longer needed, fondnesses, habits, addictions that are no longer needed. Please understand that these things are taking up space in your field. And until they are sorted, there is not the room for these beautiful divine homecomings to accelerate in the way that they have been for you lately, Anthony. So, yes, is this making sense?
Yes. Just for other people to sort of maybe give an analogy of time, I think I explained a little bit before. It's like you've got a bunch of movies and you've got 50 or 100 of them, and you happen to be an actor in each one of these movies. And at any particular point in time, you can watch yourself in this movie or this movie and this movie, but they're all playing in sequence together all at the same time. Is that sort of a rough analogy to sort of explain time?
Yes, this is a lovely analogy. Yes. And the more you move into your higher self connection and your oversoul connection, and you move into the higher states that are reached in the higher states of meditation and stillness, this oversoul aspect can indeed look out at the vistas, or these many cinemas playing these many movies. And yes, it can indeed, at the advanced levels, watch itself or certainly get a sense of itself living one of these parallel lives or living many of them. Indeed, yes, a lovely analogy. Thank you, Anthony. Yes.
So is that the situation when you have more advanced parts of you as an entities can come in and then look through your eyes, as we just sort of said?
Yes. Well, they, of course, will be each element that enters, each fractal that enters, is redefining self, isn't it?
Hmm.
It is literally a makeover, as it were, as it finds its place in your frequency field. Of course, these higher aspects coming in, I mean, the constructs of the world are still, as we say, at the highest, fourth moving into fifth. But there are still beings living on this planet who are directly connected to their sixth and seventh dimensional selves. This is not impossible to do this in your dreaming state, in your meditating state, and especially in the dream time.
Brilliant. Okay.
Very good. So I think we have covered this topic sufficiently
Mhm.
for the day, and it is very timely because this, as we say, has accelerated across the planet at this time. So it is a very good that you brought this up today, Anthony. We thank you very much, and we send blessings and love to all who are listening to this at any time, wherever you are. You are so loved, and blessed be.